Hi, everybody. Patricia Coughlin wishing you a happy new year. I've taken a bit of a break here with everything going on in this country, all the turmoil. I've really felt so preoccupied that it's been difficult to think about getting on here and posting something. But I'm hoping that in 2 days, Biden will be inaugurated in a peaceful manner and we can begin to come together. If anything has taught us how essential it is to come together in order to heal, it's the coronavirus, right? As long as we keep asserting our individual rights, I'll do whatever the hell I want. The virus will continue to spread. And so we really have to do this together. So speaking of being together, I was thinking that what I could offer today is something around the diagnostic significance of accurately assessing the nature and tenacity of a patient's defenses. In ISTDP, I think people have become so focused on anxiety and just looking for signs of striated anxiety, the sigh, the hand clenching, that they're almost using a single data point to decide when and how to intervene. And obviously things are much more complex than that. And so what I'm finding is as soon as somebody sees that sigh or that anxiety, they're jumping to feeling, even when the patient is deeply ensconced in defenses and really require defense restructuring before they can gain any significant access to their feelings. And I wanted to talk about distinguishing between externalization, projection, and transference. Somehow these are getting muddled up. And why is it important, right? What we call something. I mean, especially the word projection. It's used all the time in common discourse. Don't project that onto me. People who've never read Freud or had a Psych 101 are using those kinds of terms. So are we using it colloquially? Are we using it sort of in a philosophical manner, right? Some people will say everything is a projection. There is no objective reality. So it's all a hologram or something or other, right? Or are we going to stick to the terms as they have been defined in our field, starting with Anna Freud? True projection, what we might call a capital P projection, by definition involves distortions in reality testing. The person is seeing an unacceptable part of themselves, right? So a part of themselves that they are utterly denying and then projecting out and seeing it in the other person. So, and they really believe it. So if you have a patient who is truly paranoid, they believe you are a threat. They believe you are there to hurt them. It's not just, a thought of what might be. Oh, I'm thinking you might judge me. It's very, very different. And of course it matters because these have diagnostic significance. If someone is truly paranoid and actually projecting onto you, that first of all indicates a severe level of pathology. And the existence of that kind of defense is going to preclude a working therapeutic alliance, and something's going to have to be done about that before you could even get to work. So much more often we're talking about externalization, patients who simply externalize the cause and solution to their problems, or they're spending their time again, talking about other people and theorizing about what might be going on with them. Again, this is extremely common and is not necessarily a sign of severe pathology. I had an example just last week of a woman who's, quite well put together, absolutely no evidence of any fragility or anything, but she was talking about the recent holidays and how her mother, who's elderly, had decided not to come to her house for the holidays. And she kept going on about what she imagined, right, but sort of, knew. She says, and I know, she told me, right, it was because of COVID and concerns about health and safety, but I know that she really didn't want to come to my house because she's never preferred me and she really wanted to be with my brother and all of this. So again, understanding what that is, which is externalizing the problem, then helps you. What's your therapeutic task? It's to block that and to see if you can create an internal focus. So, I said, actually, we have no idea what motivated your mother. All we know is that she said, no, I'm not going to come. Right? So if we just look at your feelings towards your mother, instead of theorizing about what her motives might have been, is that going to be helpful to you? Is that why you're here? Right? To deal with your own feelings. Because again, warded off feelings will lead to these kinds of, they end up being distorted. They're big stories, and human beings are meaning-making machines. We're storytellers. So just because someone is mind mapping, right, and trying to imagine the internal state of the other, doesn't mean that they're projecting something in them that they're denying, right? They're just trying to figure out, right, what's going on in the other person, but there's no way for them to know. And spending time in your therapy wondering about that is not likely to lead to much progress. So again, that is easily just blocked, right? We really have no idea of your mother's internal state or her motives. What we know is that she said no to your invitation and you have feelings about that. Is that what we can look at? Okay, and it's also very important to be able to tell the difference between a patient projecting, let's say they're angry at you because you took a long vacation, and they're really not aware of that. And they start to indicate that they're worried you might be angry with them. The real issue here is, again, is this projection or transference, right? Depending on what they're saying. If they say, I think you're judging me, I might ask, where is your evidence for that? In what way have I judged you? And sometimes people might say, well, you said I was looking away, you said I had my arms crossed. And I said, well, those things are true, right? Those are simply observations. You're looking away and your arms are crossed, right? That's not a criticism. You're a stupid idiot is a criticism, right? So the fact is I'm making observations and it looks like you're having an emotional reaction to that. So again, in your clarifications there, in your questions, it's the response, the patient's response to that intervention that's really going to tell you, again, whether this is some transference, right? Really, that you are representing, they're seeing you as somebody else, seeing you as mother, father, brother, right? Or whether they're projecting their own disavowed feelings, right? That's a big difference, right? That I'm projecting my anger into you, or I'm seeing you as somebody else, and you're going to deal with those differently. So I think it really is important to ascertain through your inquiry whether the person is externalizing, projecting, or is experiencing a transferential reaction. Again, these have diagnostic significance, but they also are going to lead to different interventions on your part. Okay, so I hope this helps to start to make some distinctions. I'd really welcome your questions and comments. So, again, Happy New Year, and I look forward to having more conversations this year. Bye bye.